Welcome to the Hit in the Heart, where we discuss a hit song we all know and love from classic albums, and then a deeper cut closer to our hearts that you may not have heard before. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Wenzler.
And I'm Ms. Spellman.
And today we have a very exciting one for you today. We are taking a look at the album Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Yes.
So, a little bit about Metallica. It was formed in 1981 by drummer Lars Ulrich and lead vocalist and guitarist James Hetfield. And their current lineup is the founding members Hetfield and Ulrich, with their longtime lead guitarist Kirk Hammett, bassist Robert Trujillo. And some of the former members include Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, who we might talk a little bit about today, and former bassist Ron McGovney, Cliff Burton, and Jason Newsted. So, Metallica is one of the members of what we call the Big Four of thrash metal, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer making up the other artists in that front. I take issue with this sometimes. I have to mention Testament should probably be in there somewhere.
I would have to agree with you.
Maybe be the
Mr.
Big
Winston.
Five.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so all those bands, I think around 1986, released just classic albums, of which Master of Puppets is certainly one of them.
Yes, absolutely. They certainly set the stage, and the title track is Master of Puppets, and that's a song that you may recognize now that they've reintroduced it to the youth via Stranger Things in that final episode, and it is nothing short of epic. But the actual meaning behind the song is it's actually a song that is warning the listeners about the dangers and inevitable effects that drugs can have on you. In fact, if you will, Mr. Wenzler, I'm going to quote the actual chorus.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets, I'm pulling your strings, twisting your mind and smashing your dreams. Blinded by me, you can't see a thing. Just call my name, 'cause I'll hear you scream. Pretty intense.
Yeah, definitely. And it reminds me of something we were talking about in our last episode about the proliferation of sort of hair metal in the 80s and this sort of sex, drugs, and rock and roll idea. But here you have Metallica, where that idea had sort of been romanticized by so many other bands. Here you have Metallica bringing it back to earth and thinking about the real consequences of, your decisions. And Master of Puppets, I think, does that beautifully.
Yes, and it became a pretty widely sampled song as well. It pops up, as I said before, in Stranger Things, where Eddie, the character who we all hope, I think, a Stranger Things fan actually is not dead. He plays it in that epic final scene. And then Anthrax, who we are both fans of as well, sampled it in their very funny I'm the Man song, which was great. That was like the first rap metal hybrid song. So that's a good one to Google, too. Maybe, you never know, Anthrax may make an appearance here on Hitting the Heart at some point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the thing about this song, I mean, from a musical perspective, if you're thinking about a really good metal song, if you're lucky, you probably have 3 or 4, guitar riffs that are memorable. And but in Master of Puppets, you have 5, I think. And I counted. I was listening, I've heard the song many, many times, but really listening, there's like 5 guitar riffs before a word is even spoken that are instantly recognizable, instantly memorable. Just some of the best guitar playing you'll get in any genre of music.
Any genre. And that's just it. The layers that Metallica presents throughout this entire album is quite incredible, which kind of segues into, perhaps, since we now talked about the hit, the heart.
Yeah.
So it's always an interesting thing because Mr. Wenzler and I do not share our heart, which is our favorite track, aside from the hit, because we both love the hit. We both love Master of Puppets. But we don't share which one, just to see, just play a little game amongst ourselves if we were on target. So
yeah, I'm excited for this one.
I know. I don't know where you're going to go with it. Why don't you kick off the heart portion?
Sure. So this was a song I never really paid a whole lot of attention to. Master of Puppets always took up a lot of my attention here. But the song I chose from my heart is called Leper Messiah. And the reason I chose this album is because, well, one of the reasons I think Metallica ended up being the most popular and the most successful band out of these 4 thrash metal bands. I sort of think about them like what would they be like if they were movies, right? Megadeth is your political thriller, your sort of conspiracy, fun thriller movies. Anthrax is your comic book movies, and Slayer is definitely your horror movies, right? But Metallica is, I think, your gritty, real drama about, real complex characters and really down to earth. And I think that's what kept them more popular. And Leper Messiah, I like thinking about this song. If Slayer were to do this song, for example, it might just end up being a really straightforward criticism of religion or of religion run amok. But with Metallica, it's something so much more interesting than that. It's not necessarily a criticism of religion, because I think a lot of these members are religious themselves, but the song is about people who would take advantage of that, the power that is given, or authority, people taking advantage of authority to take advantage of others who are willing to believe and willing to. So I think that song really stands out to me as a something that dealing with a real issue in a way that's complex and nuanced, and I think Metallica is really, really good at that. And then just the song itself is unbelievable. So many different stops and starts and changes and riffs coming back and false endings. It's a fantastic song.
Though that is not my heart, that is definitely a killer track. I did have a little bit of a rebel in me back in the day, and that is why Metallica really spoke to me as a teenager. They just, pushed back in the face of authority. And it's not saying that you should not obey authority, but the abuses of authority. And that's kind of how I felt sometimes when I was walking down the halls of where I went to high school. So with that said, Welcome Home, Sanitarium is just a tremendous track. And I think that one particular lyric that stood out to me when I was growing up is, "They keep me locked up in this cage. Can't they see it's why my brain says rage?" And I just used to relate to that so much. And again, just like Leper Messiah, and I said it before and I'll say it again, the layers of Metallica, the speeding up, the slowing down, the guitar riffs, just absolutely, Hetfield's vocals. I mean, it's just, you can't not listen to Metallica and feel something, right? I mean, and that is the bottom line with Metallica. And I think, especially for all of you listening who are teenagers, it's a great release, you know, when you're looking to, kind of just like let loose, to just blast Metallica really is quite therapeutic.
Yeah, and I mean, Welcome Home, I think, is the best example of another reason why Metallica, I think, became so popular. I think the idea that metal originally is kind of it's music for people who feel alienated or downtrodden or oppressed, and I feel like Sanitarium hits on that topic so well. This feeling of being powerless, right? But and there is a great line in "Damn It, We Will Win." In Welcome Home. So it's an empowering song for people who feel powerless, and I think that's another reason why metal, and specifically Metallica, have been incredibly popular throughout the world. So,
all right.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today again on our second episode of The Hit in the Heart.
Yes, and stay tuned. We don't even know what's going to be next. It's always fun picking which band to help hopefully expose you to further. And we will catch you next time here on The Hit in the Heart. This is NPR Radio.